I have made a lot of videos about AI tools and platforms. In this video, I'm narrowing down my top choices for small businesses. I think you're gonna love these. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Welcome to my channel where I promise practical advice to build your brand. Today is no exception. Let's jump in and take a look at some of my favorite AI tools, starting with the first one that I think is gonna make a huge difference in your business. We are gonna start with Neuron Writer. I absolutely love this tool that I have recently discovered. I have tried a lot of SEO content writing tools that are powered by AI. This is an instance where I think AI can really help us simply based on how fast it can compute information. But Neuron feels approachable. It feels in-depth, and it doesn't feel overwhelming. Some of these tools are just overloaded with features, and it's hard to know where to even begin, especially SEO features. So let's hop in and take a look. As you can see, I've already started a project for my own domain with 25 search queries. So I've maxed out my search queries on my plan, which is 25, I believe. And simply by entering keywords that I'm trying to target through website content or blog posts. These are all terms that are related to my business and what I offer as a service provider. And they're things that I'm creating blog content on. I simply enter the term, enter the location, for me, the US, and the language, English, and in just a few seconds, it's gonna give me the content competition score, aiming for as low as possible, as well as the ability to assign this term to someone on my team, or link it to a specific blog post or website page on my website. So let's jump into one of these as an example. I'll select brand identity examples. The next step is going to be identifying relevant competition. And so if the content that I'm creating on this topic are blog posts, then I'm gonna wanna go ahead and select exactly that, relevant blog posts on this topic. Neuron recommends at least 5. I usually do 5 to 7. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna give the AI some parameters. So for example, we're gonna look at word length. We're also gonna look at the keyword scores. Once we've made our selections, we'll click next. And now here it's gonna open up a window based on what I've determined. In this case, I haven't tied this keyword to a specific post on my website, so it's gonna assume that I'm wanting to create one from scratch. And that is exactly what we can do. We can give this a title. It's already giving us keyword terms. And thanks to AI, we can literally select this button and get some ideas for what that title could be. If you're not happy with this one, I'm not crazy about this since it says last year, I'm gonna select it again. That is looking fantastic to me. Now let's go ahead and select a description with the help of AI. And again, when you're using AI, always consider this as a reference point, something to get you started. You saw now just in a few seconds how much easier this is gonna be for me to at least get this concept started. Here's something to look at that's a little bit more exciting. This is a blog post that I've been hard at work on. What I did was basically click up here and I auto-imported this article from my website. And I've been hard at work over here making sure that these keywords that it recommends, both basic, extended, are in my blog post as much as possible. And they're really simple things that I've encountered. How about this? Design projects. So I might click here and find the word projects. And simply by adding the descriptor design, notice that that automatically fills in. That means that keyword has been registered in this post. So I have a few more to do, but certainly by spending some time on this, the instructions were very clear. I was able to increase this score by 10 points. I would have never known how to do that without this tool. One of my favorite things is this internal links suggestions. So what this is gonna do is it's actually gonna look at my own website content and give me ideas on where I could be linking to other pages on my website to keep people engaged in the content that I've created. That is so hard to do manually, especially when you're working with a team that is less familiar with your blog content, and boom, just like that, thanks to AI, it helps us get the job done. It helps us focus as creators and business owners on where we need to be focused on, which is interpreting the information, sharing stories, adding our experience. So I'm very, very excited about this tool. It's called Neuron. Next up, something you can expect me to be talking about in the coming weeks is creating your own custom GPT. Now, I've tried a handful of tools. Again, they are very overwhelming. I focus my content on AI and marketing tactics that are meant to inspire and empower, not overwhelm. And so far, GPT-trainer seems like it's going to be that platform. Full disclosure, I'm in the very early stage of setting up my own GPT, but this seems to be a great solution for training, for example, a GPT to be able to act as a chatbot for whatever your business or project is. Right away, they link you to experts in case you need some help on this, but I really like the idea of building your own. So it kind of looks like this if you were to diagram it. An AI supervisor, that can help with specific aspects of your business. So whether it's questions, returns, escalating requests to speak with a human, or even lead collection, this platform is set up to be able to facilitate all of this. And I hope that it makes this process of training the AI on your data a lot less overwhelming. And quite frankly, less expensive, which I'll talk about in a second. Detailed analytics, tracking conversions. I love this frustration detection and all kinds of other stuff that you might be interested in. Hopping over quickly to pricing. The pricing of this is very reasonable. So you get a certain number of message credits as well as a chatbot count. And storage space. In the early stages of this, it's hard to commit to something that is really expensive because in the beginning, it's just an experiment. I feel like this is a great place. Again, I'm just getting started, but this is something I'm working on in the coming weeks. Let's go ahead and select AI agents. This is where we will set up our agents. So these are the different aspects of your business. I think it makes sense to start with this, a general Q&A. We'll go ahead and select this. Here we give it a name, a description. We choose the model that we want it working on. It defaults to GPT 3.5. If we go with GPT 4, then all that means is it's going to use up your credits faster. You'll want to spend time crafting your prompt here. It gives you an example. And then I like this. You can actually set the temperature. So adjusting the influence. So adjusting the setting that will influence the unpredictability of the AI's responses. We should note a lower temperature results in more consistent and predictable replies. If you make that temperature higher, it might get a little creative with its responses. That's definitely something you'll want to test. Let's exit out of there. Over here under sources is where you would upload the information that you want it referencing to create your GPT. So it could be a website or blog content, files like PDFs, Word docs, or TXT files, even tables or a Google Drive integration. So lots of options here to integrate it so you can start to train that. Again, I like this solution, even though I'm in the early stages of this. I've selected to use this one because it feels less overwhelming. That's GPT-trainer. Okay, the next tool is one that I've talked about on my YouTube channel before. It's one that I love for taking long form videos and chopping them up into short form without it taking a ton of time or having to hire a ton of editors. It's known as MINVO, is previously known as Memento when I collaborated with them. I'm gonna link to that video on screen for a more detailed walkthrough on this. But for now, I'll take an existing video so you can see how it can quickly take a long form video. So in this case, it was a 60-minute speech that I gave in Poland. Just by pasting in the URL, it was able to extract the most viral moments from that video. It adds text. It adjusts the camera to keep it visually interesting. It adds captions that I can edit. The whole point is that it makes this super easy for you. And if at any point you want to edit it, you can click on the edit button, get in here and do that. Such a great platform to keep video content creation easy. And now is probably a good time to tell you that MINVO, along with the other apps that I've mentioned, is in the AppSumo store. They are offering a lifetime deal, so you can get this platform for life for $59. And here you can select your licensing tier depending on what it is you need. By the way, I get the question a lot. Phil, where do you find all of these tools? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. AppSumo is one of the places where I find amazing AI-powered tools, many of which I talk about on this channel. So AppSumo is a sponsor of today's video, but trust me, I've been using this tool for years to find tools to improve and automate my workflow. That includes Neuron, which I've already previewed, as well as GPT-trainer, which at the time of this video is no longer available right now, but definitely keep an eye out. The deals are constantly changing in this marketplace, so if you land on a tool and it's one you'd like to get access to, enter your email address here, and there's always a chance they'll have another lifetime deal like this one. Otherwise, you can head to this tool's website directly to explore access. One of my personal favorite AppSumo purchases over the years was Sessions, which is an amazing Zoom alternative. So you can have a predefined itinerary for your call, no need for screen share. It's totally interactive. An AI-driven poll feature, perfect for onboarding or webinars. Again, just one of the many awesome tools that I have discovered here on AppSumo. Now let's look at a few other tools that I'm excited about. ChatGPT amazes us in lots of ways, but typically when it comes to copywriting for ads and different types of content online, it is not one of the things that it does well. It just doesn't. And if you get it to the point where it does give you good copy, that's going to be based on a ton of input that you're going to provide, which takes time and kind of defeats the purpose. So that's why I want to show you Anyword, which is my favorite tool for writing copy. They make it so super easy. So you can choose here documents or from templates. Ones that I use the most are the blog wizard, Instagram captions. If you've ever tried ChatGPT for Instagram captions, it is absolutely horrible. Jams it full of emojis, and I've just given up on it. Even writing prompts, Facebook ads, a content improver. This is so awesome. You'll choose this option assuming that you have some content that is existing that you want to improve it. So I'll just paste in a little paragraph here. You've got up to 4,800 characters here. From there, we can select the algorithm we want to use, and there are so many here. We'll keep this one on general, as well as a formula. So be creative, keep it similar to the original, or you can even add your own instructions. I like the option of staying creative. Now here we have the option to choose how many copy variations we want. I typically stick with 3, and then we can choose a language that we want to generate copy variations in. So we'll go ahead and select generate and give this a second to work. And right away, you can see the content improver at work. I've got the default view set to list. If I want to paste things into a document, let's say a blog post that you're writing, you can do that there. Now let's hop over and look at one more example. I'm going to select ads. Let's pretend we're writing a Facebook ad, give it some context. And then from here, I can specify my target audience, my tone of voice, as well as talking points, which you can actually pick up from what I provided in the context. We'll go ahead and select generate, and shortly you'll see one of my very favorite features of Anyword. It's the only tool that I've found to do this. It provides a predictive performance score. So if we hover over here, we can see this score is based on over 50,000 similar texts from Anyword's data set. If we click insights, we've definitely got some room for improvement here on this score. It even breaks down tone of voice, as well as what age groups it will appeal to. Again, this provides us so much more context than ChatGPT or any other general GPT interface. So when it comes to writing copy, social, ads, website copy, all of that can be done here using writing formulas. This one I use a lot. Explain it to a 5th grader if I'm trying to write something. Conversational, and I find that it's getting complicated quickly. I hop over here and select this option, explain it to a 5th grader. This is Anyword, my favorite AI-powered tool for copywriting. Okay, I have one more tool that I want to share with those that I've shared today. Keep in mind, I post content like this all the time. AI-focused tools to increase your productivity, so make sure if you're not subscribed, you are. I try to post content that is manageable and never overwhelming, so I'm giving you one more tool. This is not an AI tool per se, but it's one that I use every single day because it lives adjacent to all the other AI tools that I'm using, and it's called TextBlaze. This allows you to quickly store your text snippets like prompts. Let me show you. This is my dashboard, and this is where I come anytime I find myself typing a word or a phrase or any kind of snippet more than once or twice. To improve efficiency in the future, I hop over here and I type out that repetitive bit, which I can now easily recall with this shortcut. For example, if I'm using ChatGPT to write a piece of copy, and I don't want these words that we've all heard a million times, I simply type /avoid words. So here you can watch it in action. You can see that TextBlaze snippet adds that text instantly. Think email templates, AI prompts. Really anything that you type more than once and you want to be able to recall it quickly, TextBlaze is absolutely perfect for that. Particularly in the context of AI tools, it's less about you remembering how to craft the perfect prompt, but constantly iterating and adjusting your text snippet based on what you find works. Those are the tools that I'm excited about this month. Okay, lots of tools. I've linked to my favorite platforms and resources that we have covered in this video. Go ahead, check them out below in the description. If you've got any lingering questions, comment below. Let's keep the conversation going on down there. Respond to those personally. And head over to AppSumo, where you can constantly keep an eye on some really exciting and amazing deals for AI-powered tools, like some of the ones that I showed you today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. That helps other people discover these videos, which we work hard to create for you. And subscribe for more of my videos on branding, positioning, building, and promoting your brand. Next, I'm sharing a few videos I think you'll be interested in. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching. Those coming up next.